My wife and I separated, and when I saw her again years later, I discovered that I still love her. Now, I'll be damned if I let it slip away from me again. I have been separated from my wife for a couple of years, known each other since we were kids and have been together since our adolescence. For context, my wife is a lawyer and worked hard to get to where she is. I'm a stay-at-home writer who didn't make any real money until the last few years. Being a stay-at-home worker meant that I've always been around for our kids, an 11-year-old girl and twin 6-year-old boys. If my wife was my universe, my kids are the stars in it. So I decided to go and get my poop in order, and she understood, since her being the only breadwinner wasn't an issue. Until it was, and we went our separate ways. I went and upped my craft and have been getting more and more job opportunities, so I'm now financially better off. I'm still not making lawyer money, but I'm definitely good enough to handle things now. It's been a few years, and in that time I've come full circle with a lot of things, like the passing of my father and my own personality flaws. And amidst all the discovery, I discovered something that I think I've always known. I still love her. Big surprise, but bear with me, I can't shake this feeling in my heart that she's still the one for me. So I first felt this a year ago when I saw her at a family get-together. She brings my kids and obviously stays to chat with my family since they obviously enjoy her company. And I couldn't take my eyes off her. She was gorgeous. No biggie, I'm probably just alone and stupid. Thought nothing of it. A few weeks later I was dropping off our kids at her house after they had spent the weekend with me. She was in the same damn pajama bottoms she's had since college, and her hair was in a top bun. And she was still gorgeous. Now I'm worried. So I talked to my therapist about it, and over the next few months, I focus on other things. I get in better shape, change my hairstyle, and for the first time, I'm even growing facial hair. I'm working on me so that I can eventually tell myself that maybe I was just lonely and going through things. Well, 6 months later, here I am to tell you that I still love her. Now I don't know how she feels, but I'm sure of it in my heart of hearts now that I love her with every fiber of my being, and truthfully I don't think I've ever stopped. Update. So I just got back from the date. We went to this restaurant that we used to like before we had kids. I didn't know what to wear, so I just went kind of business casual, and she was stunning as per usual. We ordered appetizers and talked about some lighter stuff, like how our daughter loves soccer, how the boys are starting to look more and more like me. They some little chunky things, but I love them. And she made fun of me for getting the same appetizer I always get. Why mess with perfection, right? So as the night went on and we finished out dinner, I worked up the nerve to just tell her the truth, and do it so I wouldn't overwhelm her. I told her that I was proud of her for everything she had done, especially in her career, and how she's always been a great mom and person. She immediately stopped eating, looked at me, and said, "Are you dying?" Needless to say, I laughed pretty hard. I was gonna say something corny like, "No baby, I'm dying without you," but I figured this wasn't the time. I just said, "No, I'm okay. I just wanted you to know that I appreciate you," and she in turn told me that while she appreciated it, she wished that she was around more. I told her that I'd never turn my back on our kids and that I wanted to be with them even more. But she said it wasn't about the kids. She wanted me to be around more for her. I asked her what she meant, and she just unloaded on me, telling me that she always believed in me and that when I left it made her feel like she wasn't good enough. I told her that I was sorry and that I never meant to make her feel that way. She said the reason we weren't divorced is because she didn't want to admit to herself that it was over, that the man she'd loved her whole life could up and decide that the relationship we'd built together wasn't enough. I stopped her right there, and I told her everything, and I mean everything, that she's my everything and that I couldn't bear to be a failure and let her down, and that I didn't do what I did out of some selfish desire, but because I wanted to make more out of my life so I could do more for her and our children. She said that it felt like I had changed everything about myself because I was ashamed of who I was when she always loved who I was. I asked her what she meant, and she pointed at how I'm dressed, how I've lost weight, even how I style my hair. It was like, in her opinion, the old me wasn't the real me and this person in front of her was just an imitation. I told her that who I am on the outside may have changed a bit, but the man I love, the one you truly love, is still here in front of me. She didn't say much after that. I paid for dinner and decided to take her home. Maybe it was all too much. So we're driving back and I look at her while I drive. She's still a bit emotional from dinner. I plug in my aux cable, and I play the song "Always Be My Baby" by Mariah Carey. She loves that song so much I must have heard it a million times, and I start to sing it to her. The chorus goes, "You will always be a part of me, and I'm part of you indefinitely. Boy, don't you know you can't escape me. No darling, 'cause you'll always be my baby." I'm singing the hell out of this song, guys. And she's smiling a bit, especially as I ruin the riffs, and I swear I meant every goddamn word. She's finally singing along with me, and when the car stops I open my door and get out to open hers. I walk her to the front door and tell her how much I enjoyed tonight. She says that she didn't know I knew all the words to the song, and of course I know it, because, well, it's about us in a way. I kiss her hand and ask her if she'd like to go out with me again. She said yes. Now we're home. Well, I'm typing this while she's sleeping next to me on her couch. I tucked her in and I'm just watching her now. I'm gonna go kiss my kids and get out here. I don't know how long or how far this is gonna go, but one thing is for sure, she's still and will always be my baby. Update 2. Since my last update we've gone out a few more times, and now we're thinking of telling our kids about us getting back together. Her parents know, and my mom does too. Truth is, since that first date I haven't come back down. I feel like it's gonna work this time, and I'll be damned if I let it slip away from me again. So I'm gonna talk to my kids about it.